How foremen run the day. Tactical meetings, huddles, and zone control. This is my jam because bad meetings suck, but good focus meetings become the price we pay for alignment, and they really enable the workers and the foreman, which is what we're all about. If you're a general contractor, that's your only deal. Your only deal is to make sure that workers and foremen are supported in everything they do. And one of the ways that the general contractor does that for trade partners to enable them in the Takt production system is the meeting system. This is probably one of the most undersold, most important things ever in lean construction. I totally undersell it every time I do one of these presentations. I'm not passionate enough and I'm not getting my point clear enough because this is everything. Because it's all about the flow of communication, the flow of information, the flow of the deliverables to the people boots on the ground. A schedule is not worth the paper it's printed on if it doesn't make its way all the way to the workers in the field as a representation of a collaborative effort by the trade partners, you together with the GC. It's not worth the paper it's printed on if it doesn't do that. It's not worth it. So everything has to get all the way to the boots on the ground, workers building in the field. Let me tell you how we do that with the meeting system. Now here's some details in case you want to dig in, and we'll give you these slides in the descriptions below. It's not a big deal, but I'm going to talk high level. The first meeting is the team weekly tactical. This is where, and it sounds selfish, but it's not, where the GC, the project delivery team, they balance themselves, they make sure they have coverage, they review PTO, and they make sure they have human beings to support you, the trade partners. That's what this is all about. Do we have people to cover and enable the foreman in the field? And let me make a point. And you're probably thinking, Jason, you're talking a big game, but nobody does that. Yeah, that's right. That's why we're doing these videos, to get everybody headed back in the right direction. The project manager enables the super PE and field engineer. The super PE and field engineer, their only job is to get the trade foreman and everybody working together the information and resources they need to do their job. One piece, one process flow. That's it. And so we must have human beings to do that and to coordinate that. That's what this team meeting is for. How can they organize themselves and get coverage so that they have presence in the field? The second thing is the strategic planning and procurement meeting. This is where the project delivery team, and mainly the PM, super, and PEs, will huddle up, and it can be a part of this meeting, but we'll huddle up and review the overall project schedule or the master schedule, or what we call a macro level Takt plan, and make sure that the supply chain is feeding it. So strategic planning and then procurement. We're procuring information and resources, okay? And you bring the humans with you. We're procuring information and resources and making sure that that supply chain is feeding you. So that strategic meeting is for that, and they're constantly monitoring the supply chains. This makes sure that your overall project schedule, your master schedule, your macro level Takt plan, I'll from here on out call it your macro level Takt plan, that your macro level Takt plan and your procurement log are working together. This then enables the third meeting in the week, the Trade Partner Weekly Tactical. And I know you probably don't want to go to meetings, but please, please, please hear me out. This is where every foreman within at least a phase within a functional area comes in once a week, and this is where you detail out your 6-week make ready look ahead plan and make the weekly work plan. And it should be very easy. I know you've been asked to make them all from whole cloth. You're not going to have to do that in this system, but this is where you do the look ahead. Is work made ready? Are there any roadblocks? How can we remove them? And the weekly work plan, where it's like, here are our handoffs, and you're looking trade partner to trade partner, making real commitments. This gets our short interval plans together so that every day in a quick huddle in the afternoon, and yes, it has to be in the afternoon the day before for a normal $100 million commercial project. If you do some night shifts, you might have to adjust it, but the day before, where you plan the next day with the entire team so that you can execute the next day. And it's in the afternoon so that you have time here to get what you need if you have any substantial changes for the next day. And that day plan then gets communicated in the morning worker huddle. So the morning worker huddle, it's the best huddle ever anywhere. If you're like, I don't want my people to waste time for 5 or 7 minutes, please reconsider. because your speed and success does not only depend on you. I'm not lecturing you, I'm just passionate about this. Your speed and success depends on every other trade, every other crew inside that train of trades, inside of the phase, working with you. So if you have people that are C, D, F players, that doesn't mean they're bad people, but they're not performing. And it means that, and if they're not on schedule and they are the bottleneck and they are slowing you down, that affects you. So when we do the foreman huddle, we're enabling everybody to succeed. When we do the morning worker huddle, we're getting everybody on every crew working together, seeing as a group, knowing as a group, acting as a group, so that they're not in your way, so that they're not your bottleneck, so that everybody's playing on the A and B level. It's the most important huddle ever. And what it happens is you cover the plan for the day, create one social group, do shout outs, do lean training, and we make sure that everybody knows the change points for the day. That then enables you to go do your crew preparation. The superintendents will go do zone walks and meet you where there's a handoff. And then the team will gather sometime around 8 or 9 in the morning when the project managers and project engineers are all at work by that time. That's not a dig. They cover a little bit later of a shift, usually 8 to 5, and the field is usually 5 or 6 to 3 or 4. And they remove roadblocks in a cadence that supports the field. And then you do the day, turn in your daily reports, plan the next day, get your permits, communicate it to the workers. Do your work, turn in your daily reports, plan the next day, get your permits like your dig permits, confined space, whatever it is, hot work permits. Then you communicate it to the workers. And the cycle then repeats every day so that everybody can see as a group, know as a group, and act as a group. If you're freaked out about these meetings, trust me, you'll want them. Your pace is not your pace. Your pace is the pace of the slowest and most non-performing trade in your sequence. So these meetings get everybody working in total participation. It's absolutely phenomenal. So that brings me to the foreman tactical and huddle preparation. I told you that these were the two most impactful in my career as a superintendent. When we are doing the afternoon foreman huddle, we are looking at everything that needs to be made ready for the next day and using roadblock logs, logistics maps, zone maps, status reports, anything that we have on the project that's visual. Because remember, you can't have total participation without visual systems. And the biggest thing that we need in construction is total participation. The only two things that trades think wrong in the United States construction industry that I have a real big problem with is number one, thinking that they perform alone, and number two, that they need the entire building. No, we must be working together with smaller zone sizes, and we must understand that if I'm a trade partner, hypothetically, I'm not that cool, but I wish I was, my success depends on 4 or 5 other crews, 4 or 5 other crews. So we must work together in total participation, and these meetings get us working as a team. These visuals get us seeing as a team. And then what we can do when we're out in the field, when you actually are orienting your crew in your crew preparation huddle, and yes, it will go morning worker huddle, then crew preparation huddle, you're able to make sure that your crew is aligned with the overall project site. The overall project schedule, the look-ahead plan, the weekly work plan, and every other visual system, including the day plan, for that day in total participation. See as a group, know as a group, act as a group. That's one of my favorite quotes. See as a group, know as a group, act as a group. So we plan the next day, the day before, so then we can hit the ground running with our crews with a fully executed plan the morning of. So the day before is about the foreman planning, the morning of is about crew and worker orientation. It's very cool stuff. And we plan with these, communicate with these. It's really a cool system. So that brings me to the deliverables themselves. Ana Luisa put this together for us. This is an image of a look-ahead plan, weekly work plan, and then the crew boards, which we recommend every foreman have with their crew. Yes, rolling around with you, please, if possible, so that you can gain the wisdom of your crews. Let me talk about the purpose of each of these. First, the look-ahead plan. If you see your activity, let's say that you are orange and you're like, okay, that's my activity, and you ask yourself, do I have the people? Do I have the tools, the materials, the equipment, the permissions, the layout? Do I have everything that I need? Contingency planning? Do I have everything I need for that? Oh yeah, okay, but a supplier called me and said, oh, I don't know if this is on track. You might receive your equipment 2 or 3 days late. That then becomes a roadblock. So you are making work ready 6 weeks out, and if you hit a roadblock, you still have time to solve it before it hits the data date, the current date. Very cool stuff. And when you look at these should be associated with visual maps as well. Now the weekly work plan is from now to 2 Fridays from now, ideally. It can be 1 week or 2 weeks, however you want. But this one puts every activity on an individual row, and it allows you to see where the handoffs are. Where are you handing off and pulling? Remember, a pull in construction is pulling the other contractor behind you into the zone, not pushing people on top of each other. The GC is not going to do push. We're going to pull trades behind us because you have a handoff. These are the promises that you've made to other trades in that week. This is how we track detailed production. And again, it has its zone maps. Now the key thing, which I want to see on every project, meaning it's a wish, meaning I'm asking you, I'm not bossing anybody around, are these crew boards. These are, printing them isn't free, you'll have to find out how much that costs. But these right here, the format, we'll modify this for you. Even these are free. We're giving these to you for free. It has a place for the look ahead, the weekly work plan, and an area for you to detail your activities within your crew. Then we have the actual visuals and places for you to do different work. If you turn that board around, there's little slots for your installation work packages. There's a crew preparation huddle meeting agenda, the 5S and the 8 waste. It's a really cool board. Bottom line is we got to get this information all the way to the worker level. So the overall project schedule, or the master schedule, or the Macro Takt plan, I should have just called it Macro Takt plan. That is for high-level strategy. This is for making work ready. This is for commitments and handoffs. But this board right here is so that you can gain the wisdom from your crews, from every worker, and not just have the work of their hands, but have the work of their hearts and their minds as well. Hey, how do we want to approach this zone? Okay, this is the plan. Let's go ahead and write this down. All right, let's go do the work. Then when you're done with the work, hey team, what should we have done differently? Well, let's move the generator over here. Well, let's access the building from here. Hey, let's switch these tasks. Let's start to get the wisdom of the workers with these visuals. This is what these are for. So as I continue, and talk about the visuals, I have to make the point that yes, we're doing the long-term strategic. Yes, we're then doing the look-aheads and weekly work plans. Yes, then we're doing the foreman planning. Yes, then we're doing the worker huddles. Yes, then you're using the crew boards within your crew. But the key thing here is where the GC, project delivery team, and you interface is in zone control walks. When you're actually out there at a handoff, reviewing with each other, the superintendent and the foreman, whether or not you're going to hit your deadline by the end of the zone, that is key. Helping you, meaning the GC supporting you, to clear out ahead and punch behind you, one piece flow as you go. Don't leave stuff for punch list. Plan out ahead, clear the way, finish as you go. And if you do these field walks and status your actual weekly work plan, by making notes on it, then you will know whether or not you're flowing on a daily basis and be able to make corrections from there. So this is generally how we go from the takt plan, the macro level takt plan, to the pull plan, to the norm level production plan, to look-ahead plans, to weekly work plans, to day plans, then the crew board, and then zone control walks. If you're thinking, Jason, that's a lot of different schedule deliverables, let me say 2 things. It's automatic and intact to filter these things, and every different group of people need to see a different type of deliverable. So the reason we have those deliverables is to get the schedule all the way to the worker level out in the field where it belongs. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I'll see you on the next one. On we go.